What's up, gang? Just wanted to chat with you guys a little bit about the Asia CrossFit Championship, which is going down right now this weekend. And I was actually supposed to be out there, but because of travel stuff, some other logistical stuff, I wasn't able to make it out there, which I'm bummed about. But put a lot of work into it, and in turn, have had a lot of questions about events and all that other stuff. Everyone obviously gets excited about the event. So I just wanted to share a little bit about the process of programming for a competition, specifically one where elite athletes are competing at, but also athletes in that area of the world that are up and coming. So the field might not be as deep, but also there's a lot of other factors involved. So I think the first thing is it's always an honor to program for elite athletes in the world. In competing myself, I understand the importance of events, but I also the importance of other things surrounding just the actual workout. And if I were to, kind of pull back the veil a little bit, when you program for a competition, you program to find the fittest individual, the fittest team. And with that said, you program events. You don't necessarily program workouts. And I think that's something I've always learned from Dave Castro in programming the CrossFit Games and the Open, the regionals and games in years past, is that they were events. They were not workouts. It's not training. And that's a good mindset. Then from there, you want to create tests of fitness. But the test of fitness also needs to fit within the logistical confines of your time, your space, your equipment needs, those things. And then also judging. You need to think about the event also and how it's going to be judged, and are the judges going to be up to the caliber to judge a specific movement. And then from there also, how does it look? This is a spectator sport. This is not, an ultra marathon where you're running 100 miles and, the only thing is the test. This is, people are watching, people are looking for it. It's got to be somewhat fluid from moving things down the floor, where if you watch it from afar without 100% knowledge of what CrossFit is or the workout, you can at least maybe see who's winning. So you have placards that you move, objects, you move yourself, barbells, whatever it might be. So those are a lot of things that come into play. And, I can tell you that we program the online qualifiers and then we program regionals or the sanctionals. But what we did was we looked at regionals and we didn't want to reinvent the wheel. And I think a lot of people out there look to reinvent the wheel, certainly with their, to prove their programming gumption. And, I hope that the athletes forget about us, forget about everything except their task at hand. I can tell you that it's super fun to program. So selfishly behind the veil, I loved that first workout, the running and D-ball workout. I actually programmed that workout in my garage, did it for myself on a weekend where I was like, listen, I didn't want a barbell. I wanted to hurt a little bit. So I programmed 5 rounds, 400-meter run, 10 150-pound sandbag cleans, boom. And it was ruthless. So, and it was about a week or two after that when we programmed the ACC, in 2018. And I was like, we got to do this workout. And James and Spencer agreed. So that was an awesome one. Spencer really wanted to do the C2 triathlon. So that was really cool. So we tested a bunch of variations for that. That was one of his big babies. And then the individual workout, I think it's the BSU one, where it's the snatch, muscle up, and thruster workout. That's a really cool workout because was the workout that Coach Glassman created when he went over to China originally, and he had a bunch of Chinese athletes do that. And then Spencer Hendel actually, I think, posted one of the best times, or they posted his time on CrossFit.com for other people to do, and he did it in some absurd time, I forget, it was super fast at the time, unbelievable, like around 10 minutes or so. So it was cool to, we have there's history in China there, but there's also, history with Spencer there too, which is really, really cool. And then, we wanted to create 3 worm workouts. Worm DT, another history piece on that one is we did worm DT training in our garage for the 2018 CrossFit Games. And Spencer wrote that workout. We actually did 5 rounds first, and then we got done with 5. We're like, I think we should do another. So we rested a minute and we did another 5. So we programmed 10 rounds of worm DT. And I don't think we've ever seen the hang clean before. So, we thought we were going to see Worm DT or some version of that because we know that DT is such a prolific hero workout. We see it at individuals, so we're like, we got to prepare for it. But I think it's a really cool movement. I'm excited for that one to go down for a movement that we haven't seen, but I don't think it's too fringe or too out there, so fingers crossed that that goes well. And here's a little like behind the veil on the team workout with the rope climbs and the handstand walks. We originally wanted it to be like 1/3 of the floor, 2/3 of the floor, and then full floor. We didn't take into account that the floor was much shorter than regional floor. So when we talked to the event organizer, Max, who's a complete stud, he's like, yeah, that's 5 meters. And we're like, oh. So I had to do a quick change close to the event, essentially say, all right, it's going to be 10 meters, 20 meters, 30 meters. So not perfectly ideal because we want it to be a little longer, but again, better than 5 meters. And I still think the fittest will prevail. So I'm really excited about these events. That's just some history behind. We have the worm squats and assault bike. We have the assault bike, double kettlebell overhead lunge. We just, we took plays from regionals and from the games, that the exciting last workout, make it nice and quick. We didn't put a heavy lift in there because when you program workouts, you don't need to have a super heavy lift to test that type of system beyond that specificity. Obviously, to test a snatch, you snatch. To test a clean and jerk, you clean and jerk. But strong, power, technically proficient. A 1-rep max snatch is strong and powerful, but your positioning is beautiful. You have good, there's a lot of things in there. That assault bike double kettlebell overhead lunge is a very similar winner from snatch to that, and it's a little more exciting, and also just fits the tests a little better when you're restricted to 6. So I know sometimes people think about that, but remember when we program, we kind of know a little bit what we're doing, and when you can test parts and pieces of athleticism, it doesn't need to be specific. If you want to test a snatch, but you can still have a similar winner of that event, give or take a few spots, obviously, like anything, with different types of events. So really excited for that to go down. I just wanted to give you kind of an idea of the ACC and what that looked like as it's going down right now. I have some good buddies over there, good friends competing, a lot of people competing. There's like 20 plus countries represented over there, so it's really, really awesome. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. We hope to program many more sanctioned events, maybe make our own events down the line, but this was our first one. Super honored to do it. If you have questions about that process, about programming for events, whatever it might be, hit me up in the comments. But thank you guys. See you later.